Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm Ed with The First Time Gardener. In today's video we are bringing to you, I'm going to show you step by step how I plant my onions. So right now I have a raised bed that I've covered for the last 2 months over the summer to kill the seeds that are in the ground, and I've taken that off and the ground is very dry. We haven't grown anything since spring in this bed last year, so we need to amend it a little bit and get ready for the onions. Now the onions are supposed to ship in the next week or two, so I'm doing this today, and we're going to condition this soil with some cow manure and topsoil and compost. And we're not going to try to till it in. I'm kind of try to lay it on top over there and just let the nutrients soak in as it gets watered into the ground, and get ready for the onions that are going to be here in about 2 weeks. So anyway, because of putting the cover on it for so long, the ground, it's pretty well killed all the seeds, because I've had it uncovered for about a month now, and I have very little bit of weeds that's coming in. I think it's just from seeds that have blown in from just the wind and stuff. So it's very dry, and I want to add the compost and the cow manure to it. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to take a hose and I'm going to drench this area a little bit and at least get some water to the dry soil, and then I'm going to bring over the compost, and I'm using black cow for the cow manure, and we're going to dump that in here, and we're going to turn it in, mix it in together just on the very top couple inches of soil, and then we're just going to let it sit until our onions come in. And then when the onions come in, we'll pick up from where we left off today, and I'll show you how we plant our onions, and we'll try to follow this all the way through the fall. And I'm going to overwinter these onions as I did last year, and they turned out really well, so we're going to do it again. So I'm excited to see a new variety that I've picked out from Haas Seeds is coming, and I've got 2 varieties. I have a sweet onion and a red onion that we're going to be growing this year. Let me show you what we're using to amend the soil with, and then I'll show you how to do it. Okay guys, so here are the 2 amendments I'm going to be using, and I got these at Lowe's, from the local Lowe's. This is a compost plus cow manure. Now I've used this several times, and I can't remember, but there is a substance that they put on the grass to grow that the cows eat, and I forget the name of it, but if it's in this cow manure, it can stunt the growth of your vegetables for several years in your garden. So I apologize, I can't remember the name of it, but maybe if you guys know what I'm talking about, you can put it in the comments below for everybody else to read. But this compost plus cow manure does not have that pesticide in it, and I've been using this for 2 or 3 years, and it seems to be working really well for me. So we're going to continue using this, and I'm going to stick with this product because I've used it and I know what the product does. And then the other thing is black cow. We're going to use the black cow. So we're going to put that in first, layer it on top, and then we're going to put the black cow on top of the compost, and then we're going to turn it in, and we're going to do it together in this bed. So here's the whole bed, and you can see, I'll show you how dry it is. This has been sitting with a cover on it for months, but you can just see there's no moisture whatsoever in there. So what I'm going to do right now, like I said, I'm going to take the hose. There's a couple little weeds that have come in, but pretty much it's weedless. But I'm going to take the rake it smooth. I'm going to water the heck out of it, and then I'm going to put the compost on there, and I'll show you how I do that. So stick around, don't go anywhere. Now this stuff last spring was amended We have peat moss in here, plus black cow and homemade compost, and the compost that I'm showing you in those yellow bags. That was all put in here last year, so but because of the tarp being on it, it's just bone dry. So we're going to soak this real good, try to get some moisture in here, and then I'll be wetting this every day until the onions come, so that this can get some moisture built up. Now, because of covering it, I don't know if all the microbes and everything that's in the soil have died off, or if they're deeper. Not really, don't really know about that, but hopefully once we get this thing growing and the compost in there and keep this thing moist, they will eventually come back and start breaking down the leaves and stuff that were put in here. All right, I'm going to finish watering this down, and then we're going to wait about 10 or 15 minutes. Hey guys, look what I got. It looks like Haas sent me my green onions. Let's open it up and see what we got. Alright guys, so what I have in here today is red Creole onions and the Texas super sweet onions. Those are the reds. I don't know, they kind of look beat up. It's kind of like what the ones from I got last year look like. These actually look a little better, and they look a little bigger. But these are the sweet onions. And those are the reds. Well, we're going to go out and start planting some. I don't know that I can get these all planted today, but tomorrow is another day. So anyway, they just came in the mail yesterday. UPS, I wasn't expecting them that soon. We did prep the ground, so we're ready. All right, guys, let's follow out to the garden here, and we'll get these things started. All right, guys, good morning. We are going to start putting our onions in. I only have an hour this morning because I've got something I've got to do this morning, so I'm not going to have time to plant all of these. So we're going to do what we can. I'm going to show you how I get started with them, and then it'll be consistently planting the same way as we're doing these here. But I'm just going to have to come back probably tomorrow morning and finish planting them in. You got about a week once you receive them. You got about a week before you have to get them in the ground. You don't have to get them right in as soon as you get them, but you know, you want to get them in as soon as possible. All right, let me get a couple rows here started, and I'll show you how to do it. All right, guys, I just wanted to show you. I took the rubber band off, and we're going to kind of separate them. You got to be real careful, be gentle when you're pulling on the roots. You just want to separate them so you can see it's got quite a nice variety of roots on there, well established. So I'm going to separate these, and they're all about the same size, which I like. There's a few small ones in there, but this is a nice size one, which I consider a good large bulb. And like the energy in that bulb right there is why you can, if you separate these, mist them a little bit with like a spray bottle, they'll last up to a week and a half before you have to put them in the ground. And they don't look all that great now, but give it a week after you plant them, they'll start growing new shoots. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to start at that end and start putting them in. And then this is a little tool. This came with one of my purchases of my starter trays. It was one of the tools, so you can use this post in there, stick a hole in the ground, which is just about the size of this here, and put it in and just collapse the dirt around it. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to separate them out here a little bit so I can kind of have my pickings of what I want this morning. And then, as you see me before, I have my PVC pipe. If you're planting in a larger area longer, you can pull a string, but this is almost the length of my pipe, so I'm going to use this here. That's just to get it straight. Just put an indentation in there. And these I'm going to be planting between 5 and 6 inches apart. So when the bulbs grow out, they're not going to be touching each other. And I'll make a second one. And then I'll probably make a third one. Let's see how far I get planting these things. They're not easy to, I mean, they're not hard to plant. They go pretty quick. All right, so we got that. So then I just take my tool, make some holes. And I'm just guessing, I'm not measuring. Alright guys, so then you take your onions. now you want to plant these about an inch deep. You don't want to, what I call the crown, where the top of the leaves start to separate, where it's growing from. You don't want to bury it that deep, only about an inch. So I'm going to bury it about that deep. Okay, so all we do, push it down in the hole and collapse it. And that's as simple as it is, guys. Doesn't get much easier. Just make sure you collapse it good around the roots, and we're going to water it in real good. Some of these smaller ones that are, I call tiny, we'll probably plant in a canister and use those for like green onions for cooking and salads and stuff like that, if I have any left over. So there's a nice bulb right there. Okay, before I move the camera, I'm going to go start at the other end again. And if you don't have one of these tools, you can use your finger, you can use a stick, whatever's good for you. Just make sure you collapse the dirt in, and then when we get all done, you want to water this in real good. All right, guys, I think you got the idea. I'm going to bring you back when I get them all done. And the red ones, the red onions that I'm going to plant, exactly the same way. No different. And then again, like I said, I got these from Haas. I think it's called Haas Seed and Tool Company. They're out of Georgia. Really nice people. Never met them, but on their videos and stuff I watch, they're pretty nice. So anyway, okay guys, so I'm gonna finish doing this here. I'm probably gonna come back tomorrow after I finish this and give you a final shot. And if you have any questions at that time or whatever, I ask you to put them in the comments, and I'll try to answer any of your questions if you have any. But until then, keep watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, good morning, friends. Welcome back. We are a few days out from when we planted these onions, and we're going to button up this video with some educational tips and stuff on how to go from here. So now you've planted your onions, and what do we do next, and how do we grow them? So that's what we're going to do this morning. We planted these last Wednesday. Today is Monday morning, and as you can see, I'm bundled up a little bit. It's like 38 degrees this morning. It's about 7:30. But anyway, I wanted to go over the next steps that you got to take to grow successful onions. And as I said before, these are short day onions, which means that we are in central West Florida, and we are in the short day season of the range of the United States. So you have the short day, midday, and long day. And what basically all that means is, in order for these onions to bulb, they have to have a certain amount of daylight hours, which is here in the south is they need 10 to 12 hours of sunlight a day in order to start their bulbing stage. Well, now as we're going into fall, we don't have that length of day yet. So what they're trying to do now is they're trying to put on all the greens. So what I'm going to do in my process of going forward with this is I'm going to let them sit another probably week to get established from transplant shock and all that stuff. And once I see that they're perking up and they're standing up, then every 2 weeks I'm going to hit them with a fish emulsion, which is going to give them a 5% nitrogen. And I'm going to do that every 2 weeks. Because at this stage of the game, what you want to do is you want to grow as many of those green stalks as you can, because what that happens is for every green stalk that grows new growth from your onion, you're going to get a ring of onions on your bulb, so which is going to make your bulb increase longer. And then once the vegetation has grown and the days get longer and it starts your bulbing stage, then you're going to cut the fertilizer out and you're just going to let it bulb. We're going to do a process later on. Once the bulbs start going, we're going to call what they call ringing. We're going to ring around and pull the dirt away from the bulbs so that they can expand. Is this necessary? No, it's not necessary to do that, but it does help, I think, somewhat to enlarge the bulbs. And then we'll probably at that point hit it with a little bit of bone meal, which is a root stabilizer, which will develop the roots a little bit more, so the bulb itself grows larger. And this will go all the way through. We'll probably be harvesting these in April. So they're going to be overwintered. Hopefully they'll get nice and big, and we'll see how that goes. So anyway, that's how you take care of them from this point. And if you have any questions about anything that I've gone over, please leave them in the comments and I'll get back with you. But we're going to follow these along as they go. I'll probably give you a 2-month update, show you how they're doing, what they're looking like, and we'll follow this onion all the way to harvest in a future video. When we get ready to harvest, we'll show you what they are. So I hope this video was informative to you. I hope you got something out of it. If you need to order your onions, now's the time to order them. I got these from Haas. Last year I went to Dixondale's. So either one of those two companies is a great company to order from. I feel from Dixondale's I got a few more onions in the pack than I did we have about 72 onions of the sweet, and I didn't count the red onions, but we got a little less than the 72. So Dixondale's, I think if I remember right, I got like 124 starts in a bundle that they guarantee you get at least 4 dozen. So I think you get a little bit more from Dixondale, but I want to grow the Haas this year and see how they do compared. If the quality and size are bigger, then this is probably well worth the effort to switch to these here versus last year's, which we did get some decent size, but not that 4 and 5 inch bulb that I was looking for. So anyway, we're going to end this video. Thanks for watching. Please give a thumbs up if you like this video and the content it had in it, and please by all means share this with your friends if they're thinking of doing some onions. If you haven't subscribed, please think about subscribing to our channel. We've got a lot of things coming up this year, and would love to have you join our gardening family. So until we see you next time, take care, God bless, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on that next video. Appreciate it.